S for our acts. The C can be D for our diving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Trudging Tuesday, here we are. So I had to replace the picture in the thing. It's probably not going to change anything, but it was probably a little... What is going on here? Okay, all right. Restream is just, oh my gosh. All right. Good morning. Trudging Tuesday. Don't care. I guess chat's not working either. Put money on it, chat's not working. There's always something wrong with this thing. I'm gonna go check it. Yeah, see? People are okay. There it is. Oh, it showed up over here. Okay, good. Then I don't have to worry about that. Morning, Heather. Good to see you. Sorry that all started a little weird, but it is what it is. Even my hair is a little weird today. See, it's all sticking up. Hey, Jazz. Good to see you. I'm sure you're all here because, my hair. So it's just at a weird stage. It's like a gawky teenager at the moment. I have to just go down. All right. I want to start licking my hair on while I'm live. Oh, crazy. Let's talk about sponsorship a little bit before we get going today. Sponsorship. As a sponsor, I am 100% successful. Right? I am still sober. That's one of the reasons I sponsor, is to continue my sobriety. See, God removed the obsession, and now I need to maintain it. That is my job. This is driving me crazy. Give me a second. All right. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm 100% successful as a sponsor. When it comes to sponsees, a couple of things. We don't take credit for the things they do right, and we don't feel bad if they go back out. We have no control over this. None. Okay. If you're working with somebody and they have a slip and they told you about it, instead of just disappearing, this is actually a good sign in my book. It's a good sign. It means, and they may even be like, yeah, I'm not willing. I don't know how willing I am. Yeah. Who knows? All right. But you can't take offense to what your sponsees do. They're not even really your sponsees. They're not my sponsees. They're not Dion's sponsees. There's somebody that I'm helping. Sponsor and sponsee are just, they're just words. Okay. It does not denote that one is bigger than the other. It's just one has the answer has a solution to the problem, and they're working it. That's really the only difference between these two people. All right. We're here to guide and guide only. There's a lot of stuff that I know, and I incorporate some of my clinical stuff in, but mostly with accountability, teaching life skills is setting and goal setting. I do that a lot with my sponsees, where we set goals and we do certain things. All right. What are some of the things that I teach? Accountability, delayed gratification. These are life skills that every alcoholic needs, right? And that's what we're teaching them. See, the program is like one long Karate Kid movie. You're going to find things out about you that you had no fucking clue about. All right. In fact, that's a good leeway to this. We're going to avoid today's daily funnies today because I want to cover real quick before we get started the 7 signs that you're starting to remember who you actually are. And people in AA go through this because, see, we spend a lifetime of not even knowing who we are. So really, we are looking for authentication. We're looking for what we actually are in ourselves. I'm 55 and I'm still figuring it out. Okay. Even yesterday, I got a job offer for doing outreach, right? Things like that. So number 1, you start to prioritize your own values. You make decisions based on your personal values rather than to please others. This means honoring what's important to you, even if others disagree. Increased need for deeper connections, and that's what the program is kind of about. We have deeper connections here. It's 11:11. All right. Setting and honoring boundaries is another one. All right. So you're creating, not strong boundaries as much as healthy boundaries. Boundaries don't have to be strong. Okay. In fact, boundaries kind of need to be pliable a little bit. Okay. You no longer sacrifice your own well-being to accommodate others. Right? You feel comfortable establishing boundaries and do not feel guilty for doing so. That's the big one. I used to feel guilty for setting boundaries. No, I don't feel bad about it anymore. Okay. Because I'm taking certain steps before that even happens. Okay. You embrace solitude. Now, solitude is not isolation. That is different. Solitude, that means that when you do have time by yourself, you really enjoy it. I definitely go through that. Right. Thankfully, I can hang out with my wife and still be spending time alone. I can do that with my wife. Right. So instead of feeling lonely, you value time spent alone as an opportunity for self-discovery and growth, becoming your own best friend, seeking feedback and reflection. You ask other people for direction. I just got a call from a sponsee. They usually don't call me this time of the day. They're at work. All right. So I'm like, I know I need to pick this up. All right. So that's why I was a couple minutes late. I have a feeling that you're okay with me being a few minutes late. So seeking feedback and reflection, you're curious about your own mind and actively look for emotional blind spots. Authenticity in behavior. I'm going to tell you, you work this program to a certain point and fake people are just going to irritate the fuck out of you. And you'll see that I can't do fake drives me nuts worse than anything. And I feel it immediately too. I just get this rock in my stomach. I can feel it. So listen to your intuition. Your outward actions, such as how you spend your time and money and how you talk about others, start to consistently reflect your eternal beliefs and principles. So your actions are going to match your words. Why? Because you have decided that instead of talking then walking, you did the walk and then you talked. That's why that changed. You feel lighter and more aligned. There is an overall sense of living a life that feels meaningful and aligned with your true self. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. So I replaced the daily funnies with that. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host today and the foreseeable future. So sad. It's been a while since somebody said, you need to bring other people on. I've been waiting for it to happen. I try, man. It is not easy to come on here and do this. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. If you go back 7 years ago and watch some of the stuff, I don't know that I have any videos from 7 years ago because I was just doing Facebook. Yeah, there won't be a confidence there. My voice is shaky. You know, it's hard to come on here and talk about hard things in your personal life and what's going on, and not being and not being a poster child for mental illness. That's what I was doing at one point. My friend Lori called me out. I've been doing it about a year and a half. She's like, you need to find a different arena. You need to stop being the poster child for PTSD. It's keeping you sick. Hmm. See, these are true friends, right? Right. Now, I've been doing this 7.5 years. I make it look easy. Okay. But there's got to be a certain level of humility in what I do. There needs to be a certain level, right? Like here, this would be a good example. And we're on topic here because, see, I have to avoid big shotism. I could just as easily go drop some money and pay to play, but I don't go that route. I am more of a, if you found me, if you found me, there was a darn good reason for it. There was a darn good reason for it. If you found me, it's because God wants you to hear what I need, what I'm saying. I get my listeners from this. Hey, have you ever heard that Dion dude? That's how I get my listeners. Okay? And I don't have a ton of listeners, but I have loyal listeners. The people that listen to what I do are extremely loyal. Okay. Now, as much as I do not like fake, I love loyalty. I love having a couple of friends out there where if you talk shit behind my back in front of them, they're going to say something to you. Because I tell you right now, you talk shit about my friends in front of me, or you even talk shit about yourself and you're my friend, I'm going to stick my foot up your ass. Yeah. I'm going to do it kindly unless you persist. Right. But we've got to avoid, and you see it all over the place. It is all over. Right. I'm going to start writing down some of the recovery names that I'm seeing, like Rock Bottom with Richard Ricardo. They're not even thinking of the name. They spew these big words everywhere, not understanding that what they are saying is not actually matching with what they are doing. And didn't we just kind of talk about that? That's the big difference. Okay. I went and helped a few people out the other day, and they stayed and they're doing very well. I got an update yesterday. They're excited about what they're doing and the program. Awesome. It makes me very happy. And if I never ever see them again, that is fine. Okay. Now, when I was talking to them, I said, I want you to notice I don't have my camera out here. I'm not recording you. See, I didn't need, no, I could have just as easily recorded that, put it on Instagram and begged for money. And I would have made some too. But something in my gut doesn't feel right about that. Right? If they feel okay about it with what they're doing, great. Good for them. I still don't agree. I don't have to agree. I'm not required to agree. Right? So we can all do these things. And instead of arguing with these people, now I just hit the X button. And this is also the way that I see it is if you do what I do and you're trying to help people out in the recovery field and your stuff is sponsored, that's already strike one in my book. If you had to pay to put it out there for something like this, then it tells me I like the natural things. I don't like to push against, like when we go driving, if there's driving directions, I don't change. I go the same route. I go the route that I'm told because it seems like when I get out of the route that I'm not told and start deciding all by myself the way that I should go, I screw it up. Because I want to be the big shot. I'll start fucking curb hopping and jumping off the highway without an exit and through the dirt. Yeah, I've done it before. And it took us 20 minutes longer to get there. Sound familiar? All right, we got a reading for this. All right. So we got a reading and we got some other stuff. So it says here, all right, let's do something simple today. No plan, just a random reading. That's not what we're doing today. All right. So my ego didn't go away when I put the bottle down. It just changed costumes. Oh, man. Man. It's true. I talk about the drunk horse thief all the time. That's what we're dealing with here. Right? The problem wasn't the alcohol. It was my lying, my manipulation, my dishonesty. And I will tell you something. If something is going on and you say nothing, that's still a lie. All right. Heather says, it's that damn alcoholic thinking. Yeah. We don't think the same as other people. Dare I say normies. People. And I know several people got out. No. Well, my whole identity can't be alcoholic. No, it's not. That's not your whole identity. That's a part of your identity. See, I've got 5 mental illnesses. I'm going to brag a little bit. I got 5 mental illnesses. Try and beat me. Right? So I got alcoholism. And it's never just regular stuff, I have acute anxiety. I don't have just PTSD. I have CPTSD. It's got to be complex, right? I can't just be an alcoholic. I've got to be a hopeless, helpless alcoholic. Listen to these extremes. Severe depression. These are the clinical terms used. And they added on ADHD, but I'm ignoring that one. Who knows? I'm going to tell you something. Who knows what it actually is? I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it was unregulated emotions and trauma. That's what I think it is. And each day I get better. Each day, just a little bit more. I just get a little bit better. Now I've been doing it 9.5 years. And all of that has started to culminate. It has started to build up. See, the little things kill, but they also build. Heather says it's not my whole identity, but it is sure the underlying current of my thoughts and actions. Absolutely. Not only that, but when I identify as an alcoholic, I have the power to save other people's lives. Right? So what does Big Shotism look like? Acting like you're running the whole show. You ever see that around anywhere? This is my program, my program that I made. How many programs you see out there? Do you know? I'm going to show you how easy. I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a recovery program. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to make one. I'm going to make one in a matter of minutes, right? I'm going to go to Chat GPT here. I'm going to start a big new chat and watch this. Give me a recovery program I can sell. Watch. Look at this. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. I have one. See? Look at all this. It's even giving me program modules. Now, I've got to let you know. Something. I have been feeding Chat GPT my information. Look at all this. Okay. Look at all those conversations. So it knows me very, very well. So this is actually based off of what I have fed it. I have fed it a lot of my transcripts, right? But look, then it gives, see, I'm done. See how quickly somebody can put together a program? Wasn't very hard, was it? It was not very hard at all. I did it in a matter of seconds. And it'd be legit too. It sounds all good and everything else. So I'm waiting for this to pop back up. Okay, I do have a reading. So let's get to the reading. It is today's daily reflection, a day at a time. Hazelden literature. Nothing is enough to the man for whom enough is too little, wrote the Greek philosopher Epicurus. So let's go over that line again because I don't quite understand it. Nothing is enough to a man for whom enough is too little. Oh, so not being satisfied with what you have. Yeah. I got to keep it simple. It's too many confusing words there for Dion. All right, we got it. All right. Now that we're free from addiction, rebuilding our self-respect and winning back the esteem of our family and friends, we have to avoid becoming smug about our newfound success. Look at me. All right. So I describe the living amends sometimes. I like to use the trash. Right? Because it's usually the thing in the house. Trash and the dishes and laundry. Right? So let's talk about the trash. And we all know it's not a competition. People just pile stuff on, hoping the next person will get it. The trash is usually, I'll leave it for whoever it bugs the most, right? So, take out the darn trash, right? You take out the trash, you go put it in the bin, and then you need to put another bag in there. You're not done taking out the trash until you put another bag in the trash can. But then we want to go get appreciation for this. Because we run around and think that suddenly we deserve good attention because we did something right. When really it's a reasonable expectation. And we don't get thanked for expectations. Okay. I got a little upset on Sunday because my wife didn't thank me for picking her up from the airport. I'm her husband. It's a reasonable expectation. She shouldn't need to thank me. But because I'm an alcoholic, because I went out of my way to do something, I expect to be thanked or recognized for it. I take out the trash for a full week, and I think that I'm going to get some certificate of appreciation for that I'm going to be employee of the month. Hi, Amber. Yeah, my brain still does that stuff. Right? For most of us, success has always been a heady brew, even in our new life. It's still possible to fall into a dangerous trap of big shotism. All right. Now, alcoholics, and not all of them, but most alcoholics, we didn't really have a childhood. I got picked on a lot. All right. Now, see, this is it's kind of hard to explain, so I'm gonna explain it this way. Okay, I used to run what was called live action role play, LARPing. Okay, and it's where nowadays everybody kind of does, but back then it was just a bunch of geeks and nerds that got together in crowds because we got picked on, so we had a little bit more strength in crowds, right? and I would have to make storylines, right? And it'd be for a weekend or whatever. Well, I would give these people power in the game, like maybe they became a duke or something, right? So they had power over these, and they would abuse it every single time. They became a fucking tyrant because they didn't know how to lead. Alcoholics do not naturally know how to lead correctly. We can be leaders, we can be promoters. Okay, we're talkers, but being a talker doesn't make you a leader. So sometimes we get into these positions and suddenly we think we fucking know everything. Usually happens around year 3. Year 3, 3, 4, right in there. Everybody goes through it. Some people grow up and get past it. Some people don't. That's why recovery coaching is extremely dangerous, because they'll train anybody. I was talking detox yesterday. They won't hire people with less than 2 years now. All right. All right, all right, all right. Right? So we need to learn how to become leaders. Well, remember earlier in the beginning, what was I talking about? Sponsorship. I was talking about sponsorship. What I say about it? I said, you can't get somebody and keep them sober. It's not within you. We don't take credit. Right? We alcoholics, we always go for the bad thing, right? It's like, oh, my sponsor's doing so good. Look at them. They're doing such a great job. I'm so proud of them. But when they slip, we're going to take it on ourselves now? Wait a minute. What? Why do we always choose, when it's we only think of the bad things, and we've got to stop doing that. We can't always be focused on the bad things. There's a lot of really cool things in this life, man. A lot of beautiful things. So open up your eyes. That song by Tonic goes, open up your eyes. Don't let your mind tell the story here. I'm like, this guy's an alcoholic. He's got to be an alcoholic when he's talking like that. Don't let your mind tell the story. Be a part of the story. Okay? It goes back to, don't put yourself in a box. I remember when that came out in sales. I remember the first meeting I was in. Somebody said, you got to think outside of the box. And I said, why did you put yourself in a box? Where is this box? What box are you talking about? Because I didn't put myself in a box. Not when it came to sales. All right. As insurance, we ought to remember that we are free today only by the grace of God. Well, I remember that any success I may be having is far more his success than mine. Now, I do understand what they're saying, but I don't totally agree with that. God shares his success. My higher power shares the success with me because he wants me to share it with other people. My cup overfloweth, so I have to give away. That's how I feel about it. God often gives me more than I can handle, or I don't reach out to his children. It isn't beyond me. It's just I need other people involved. I did it yesterday. Something was going on. So I'm like, we need 3, 4 people involved in this conversation, or otherwise we might come up with the wrong answer. And we came up with the right answer, I think. Well, we're still kind of talking about it. I haven't read it yet. My phone just keeps going ding, ding. You're now free to move about the country. May I keep constant string on the finger reminder that I've found freedom through the grace of God, just so I don't let my pride try to convince me that I did it all myself. Yeah, I didn't do it all myself. It took a tribe. It took a lot of people. more than I probably more than I can remember, I'm sure. Man, learn to cope with success by ascribing it to a higher power, not my own questionable superiority. Superiority. Today I'll remember learn to deal with success. Woo wee, woo wee, woo wee, woo wee. Right? Deal with success. In the beginning, it's gonna be hard. You're not because have you been given a compliment in the program yet? And you're like, yeah, but just say thank you. Right. So when we act like we're running the show, we get spiritual arrogant, and then we start thinking the basics are for other people and they're not for us. That we are beyond the basics. And I've said it before too, back to basics, and people are like, "What does that mean?" You're a peer support coach, and you don't know what back to basics is. It means going back to the beginning. Keep it simple. Steps 1, 2, and 3. That happens to me every now and again where I have a day when the best I can do is 1, 2, and 3, and that's all right. That is not below me. That's not below me. There is nothing below me. There's nothing above me except my higher power, right? Why is it dangerous? Because ego is the number one block to God. Pride isolates us. Pride stops growth. Pride kills teachability. You are not going to be as open-minded when you're prideful and you think you know it all. And dare I say it, it's old behavior. Of course, it can't be old behavior if you didn't find a new behavior first. It's still the same, in which case it's even worse. It's the same behavior, which means that they have not learned a different way to do it. And that makes them even more dangerous. When we put out podcasts like rock bottom podcasting, I mean, and I don't know how many things I'm seeing now where it's like, hey, we're gonna have a retreat and anything sober, somebody presented all recovery meeting to me again today, and I don't understand what an all recovery meeting is. I don't know what it means. When I hear it, and it's probably different for this person because they're a good friend of mine. I'm not putting them down. It's just I don't know what it is, right? Um, I just to me, this is what I hear. We're gonna have an all recovery meeting because we don't follow any program. So we're gonna present them with you with all of them. But if you don't know them, then how are you going to present them? Oh, what does that mean? Oh, your recovery. Now we're back to them being an expert. See? And now they think they can help anybody because they got sober for a year. Now you feel like you can help everybody? I hate to tell you this. Even the 2 that I helped out on Friday, alcohol was not their main thing. There were some things I didn't understand that I didn't quite connect, but that was okay because God was in the car. So what is the solution? Well, staying right-sized, practicing humility, doing service, staying accountable, and listening more than speaking. I should probably follow suit on that last one. I do a lot of listening. I do. I also run my mouth a lot. So there's a lot of listening and running my mouth. I do. I'll admit it. But I don't everywhere I go isn't a place where I'm the center of attention and I speak, right? So our job is to remain a worker among workers, a trudger among trudgers. We are not better than, we are equal to. There is no greater signs or lesser signs in recovery. Right. So when I stay small, God gets big. When I get big, God gets small. Avoid big shotism. Avoid it. All right. That's going to be it for this one. I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everything everybody's been doing lately. Keep kicking ass out there. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on